everybody, today is a long-awaited video, me finally doing some more Fireflies. I've basically in every single recent video I've done, I'm like, I need to do the Fireflies, I need to do the Fireflies. We're doing the Fireflies today. Yeah, so this is going to be a nice little chill evening gameplay session, since I feel like all my recent videos have just been buying horses or doing like some weird kind of event stuff. Or might be nice to just take it back down and just have me chatting. Lucky you. I've honestly not done Fireflies in so long. It's going to take a bit of locking in to remember how, like, the right methods. My inventory is a mess right now. We're going to sort out my storage. Okay, I feel a lot better now. Look how clean my inventory is now. I'm doing everything but collecting the Fireflies. This is a positive start. So I've done this. Oh, that's quite a bit. And then I've done this section. I thought we were significantly closer, but apparently not. Okay, very hard. So I do divide, lightning, T, divide, lightning, T, upside down triangle, divide, lightning, T. I must sound quite crazy. Look at me go. Oh, I leveled up my horse and I can unlock the next stage. We're gonna unlock. Oh, I'm remembering my routine now. I then go over and I do this race and then I come back later to collect the XP and stuff. I've not recorded a video in probably almost a month now, since the ones that you've been seeing were pre-recorded quite a while ago. So I'm just getting back in the groove. Time to lock in. I've been saying that so much recently and it's actually really annoying me. I have the worst memory ever. This is just really not the kind of rambling type of activity. I've been saying lock in so much recently. It's actually really bad. It's like my favorite saying. When I was doing a job, God, it would have been last month, there was me and this other guy and we were the youngest people on the team of what we were doing, and we kept individually saying lock in, and then all the other people, they were like, what does it mean? Like, you and this other guy just keep saying it. Ever since then I've just become obsessed with the phrase lock in. Yeah, so lock in, one of the top 3 sayings in the it's none of this Gen Alpha stuff. This is like pure Gen Z. I don't know what I'm gonna do in this game when the Fireflies are done. I just kind of accepted I'm never gonna train all my horses. There was a point in time where I genuinely did believe I was gonna train up all of my horses until level 15. Then the bazaars started coming out more recently, and then loads of horses got retired, and then that dream very quickly went out the window. See, oh look, I'm making so many Fireflies. Talking about kind of culture, I don't know, Gen Z. I kind of want to talk about what it was like growing up as a British teenager. I'm pretty certain everyone on here is aware I am British from my accent, and also the fact that I'm on the UK's biggest server. I thought I'd just talk about a really random experience that we have. I don't know if, I'm sure everyone in the UK, if you've been to a British secondary school, knows about this, but the award Duke of Edinburgh, DofE for short, I'm sure that's rung some bells in some people's minds, and maybe, oh no, I don't know how young my audience is, maybe some of you guys are actually actively doing it. I went up to the silver award, I did the bronze and silver, but oh my god, genuinely I feel like that experience formed me as a human being. Because for those of you that don't know and you aren't in the UK, Duke of Edinburgh is essentially giving a bunch of 13 to 16 year olds, depending on the level you're at, it's usually between the age range of 13 to 16 year olds, a map and tell them go and walk this route. You don't have your phones on you. You do have an emergency phone, but it's wrapped up in like 50 layers of fucking duct tape. You've got minimal amounts of food that you can carry in your backpack, and survive. So survive we did. Okay, so if I'm actually being genuine about Duke of Edinburgh, for those who don't know, Duke of Edinburgh is an award teenagers in the UK can participate in. The main bulk of the award is the fact that you go on an expedition. Most classically, the expedition is done by foot. Some people do it by rowing, horses, bikes, all that stuff, but typically everyone does it by foot, and you need to walk a certain distance. You're given a map of an area and you need to calculate your own route as well, so you can choose kind of how many hills you go up. Maybe to avoid a hill you'll add a bit of extra mileage, stuff like that. So it's just all that kind of wilderness encouraged activities. There are 3 different levels to it. There's bronze, silver and gold. So bronze, you camp out one night and do an expedition for 2 days where you're walking, and silver, you camp for 2 nights and then you do 3 days of walking, and then gold, eventually you do 5 days of walking. So what's that? That's like 4 nights. I went up to silver because me and my group after silver made a pact with each other. If anyone talks about doing gold, slap the shit out of them, basically. So yeah, essentially you're given a compass. Your phones are mostly taken away from you, apart from an emergency phone you have in your team, which is actually genuinely tied up with so much duct tape, where it's just, you know what, if there is an emergency. But also what you need to do is you need to do a practice walk and then an actual walk, which honestly I think is taking the because the practice walk is like, oh, testing that like your food plans are right and your route making's right and what you can do to improve them. Like, no. To be fair, I personally did really enjoy Duke of Edinburgh, but I have a few funny stories that have come out from it. So I did it on the years where the UK started to have these really intense heat waves, and with Duke of Edinburgh you have a massive backpack on and it's so heavy. I mean, I myself, I'm quite tall, so compared to my friends I honestly had it quite easy because I'm taller. I can obviously carry heavier stuff, but to make it fair, our team leaders would all make us carry almost the exact same weight, since you need to carry your tents, your food for the few days, cooking equipment, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so we did it during the heat wave. Genuinely dangerous. One of our team leaders once forgot our water checkpoint and we were just kind of stood around there and we were all like, what are we supposed to do? We're running out of water and the next checkpoint is probably in another 40 minutes. There is no shade anywhere and we're on day 2 of this expedition, so we're already quite tired. We're nearing the end of the day, so we only have one more left, but we're all kind of getting to our final straws. So we kept on walking, and then suddenly we got up to this big hill. Again, no shade, we were running out of water. And we started walking up, and for the first time in ages, we finally found a spot of shade. Oh my god, actually genuinely a godsend. So half the group, we started sitting down, we were like, oh my god, we can finally relax, we can finally have a bit of shade, we can cool down, we can regenerate for a minute. The rest of the group, they came up next to us, and bear in mind we were in the Cotswolds. There is loads of farmlands here. We suddenly turned around thinking we were about to get a 5-minute rest before the last push. A bunch of cows started walking up from the hill, and I know it's a joke where like anyone on Duke of Edinburgh you always have some sort of incident with a cow, but actually everyone's like, no, cows are fine. We feared for our lives because I mean these cows were here that we were in their like territory. I don't know if that's how cows work. So instead of having our nice little chill down, this probably wasn't the smartest thing ever. Bear in mind, I said we've got big backpacks on that are carrying everything we need over the next few days, and we just sprinted up this random hill. It was exhausting, but you know what, I was fearing for my life, and then we finally got to the top of the hill, and then we realized we really weren't that far from camp, and it was mostly okay after that. This is a really weird, oh wait, okay, I can unlock another thing. We're gonna unlock the last little bit here. I'm gonna just run around and carry on the stories. This sounds disgusting, but of course when you're at home thinking about like your expedition and everything, you don't really think about actually how you're feeling in the moment, and you're still a bit precious about everything. So there's this thing and it's called mint cake, and I remember my mum showed it to me and I was like, no chance I'm bringing that looks absolutely foul. And she's like, are you sure? Apparently it's really good for your energy levels, because I mean Duke of Edinburgh is like survival. I'm being a bit over dramatic, but you do need, you are hungry, you were tired. And also don't get me started on how many blisters I got. Oh my god, I bought the wrong boots with me and it genuinely got to the point where I was walking, looking at the grass, trying not to cry. But besides the point, and I was like, nah, we don't need mint cake. Apparently my whole team also thought the same, apart from this one guy. And he got out the mint cake one day when we sat down having our break, and we were all like, oh, can we try some? And he was like, yeah, sure. And suddenly we all realized this was like drugs. This was actually insane. Energy, it was just basically pure sugar. I'm sure I put a picture up on the screen. It looks gross, but I mean, it just tasted like a Polo, but it really gave us the energy we needed. So we called this guy our mint cake dealer all of a sudden, and every time we'd get to a checkpoint, we'd have to divvy up and divide between us all how much mint cake we'd get at each checkpoint. And then at the beginning of the day, we'd mark down the checkpoints, we'd divide up the mint cake, and that's how desperate it got. But let me know if any of you guys have also done Duke of Edinburgh, since I always find the stories so funny. Thankfully nothing went too wrong. Why is this a different, I'm gonna just pretend I didn't see that. That is absolutely fine. But yeah, I feel like Duke of Edinburgh really kind of formulates you as a person. Sometimes you can have some canon events during that time period. Our team though, we got through, and I have silver and bronze if anyone's looking to hire me. Apparently it looked good on my CV. It's on my CV. But I'm really upset. I missed the whole Christmas event this year for StarStable. I just didn't get the time to actually dedicate and log on for a few hours and do all the event quests, and I kind of thought it was all the same stuff from the other years. So that is why you did get a playthrough. I actually don't know what's wrong with me today. I've physically just lost the ability to speak or say anything. So I'm gonna have fun editing this in a little bit. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this short little kind of story time Firefly video. Let me know if you're interested in more content similar to this, and of course if you have any of your own Duke of Edinburgh experiences, or if there's anything similar in any other countries, let me know down below. I'd love to hear your stories. But overall, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.